Hey everybody. What you have in front of you is a fantastic knife. It is the ProTech Malibu. This particular Malibu is in CPM 20CV blade steel, aluminum handle. It's about 3¼ inch blade length. Extremely nice knife, very nice action. I can't think of one thing about this knife that I don't like. Well, I could probably think of one thing, but I'll get to that later. But it's an excellent knife, and this is really the knife that got me started on button locks. That's my favorite locking mechanism on a knife. It's a little fidgety. I just like the way it works. Great thing. Uh, Now, I became such a big fan of button locks that I spotted another one from another company that I also appreciate because I'm a big ProTech fan. I really enjoy ProTech knives. Um, But then I also started to get into Civivi. Now I know some people would say, Civivi makes junk knives. No, they don't. Civivi makes some really nice knives, nicely designed, well made, and they hold up pretty well because I use them fairly often. So I ended up buying this knife that was fairly new to the market, which also had a button lock, and it was this guy right here. Here, let's slide him right over here. This is the Civivi Altus. So as you can tell, it's about the same size. It looks like maybe a slightly small, let's move that up a little bit. It's like a slightly smaller um, blade, and handle's a bit longer, but great knife. It's also a button lock. And, you know, I was using it, and I'm like, this knife is almost as good as the Malibu. Now, I believe that has a Damascus blade, but, you know, it cuts just well to me. It's held up pretty well. As you can tell from my card, I worn it in pretty nicely. It's a nice knife. Um, Another thing worth noting is that that knife cost me about $65. The Malibu cost me $230. Now, is the Malibu better than the Civivi? Well, I don't know what better means, but I think some people would make the argument that the Malibu is better than the Civivi. And let's assume that's correct, and let's assume that the Malibu is better than the Civivi. Is it like $165 better than the Civivi? That I'm pretty much a hard no on. Um, like I said, I really enjoy the Malibu. I enjoy the Civivi Altus, but I really don't think it's $165 better. Now, let's fast forward a little while longer, actually to last year. My wife had asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I saw this new knife that Civivi made called the Cubit. I believe I've done a video on the Cubit before, so if you're interested in it, you can check some of my older videos and find the Cubit video, or just search Civivi Cubit, and there's a lot of good reviews out there. Well, not only did she get me the Civivi Cubit, but she also kind of freelanced a little bit, and she bought me another knife as a surprise, just because she thought it looked pretty cool, and it's this guy right here. Hey, wait a minute. These knives are the same, aren't they? Well, imagine that. It's yet another Civivi Altus. Now, you might notice that there's some differences. One Civivi Altus is micarta, the other one's aluminum. One's blue, one's green. One's Damascus, one is Nitro V, just kind of a plain blade. Both very good knives, but I got to tell you, the Altus with the aluminum scales is better than the Altus with the micarta. You know, I don't know what it is. I'm thinking it's because of the liners, or I don't know. It just fits better. And as I was using it, it feels a lot more high end. Those are about $70 to $75. Doesn't feel like a $70 to $75 knife. Kind of feels like what you'd get from like a $200 knife. That's how smooth the action is, how solid the lockup is. It just, if someone didn't know who Civivi was and you said it was a 200 and something dollar knife, or if you got the C out of there and said it was a Wii knife for $200 and $250, I think most people would believe it. They'd say, "Oh, okay, this is a $200 knife," but it's not. It's like a $70 or $75 knife. So where does that take us? Why am I doing this? And I'm doing this basically because I love the Malibu, but I gotta tell you, the Altus with the aluminum handle is every bit as good as the Malibu. Every bit as good. I'm not saying it's better than the Malibu, and I'm not saying the Malibu is better than the Altus with the aluminum handle. I know that might be a sacrilege to some people, and I could just picture some people thinking, well, that Malibu has CPM 20 CV, and the newer Malibus have MagnaCut. I don't care. I got to be honest with you. I really don't care. Today I was using a Swiss Army knife. Some of you might have seen the short I did in the one-handed trekker. That's just got regular stainless steel. Nothing fancy. I don't think they pay a whole lot to stick it in the knives, but guess what? It works. Is it a super steel? Nope. Does it work well? Yep. And guess what? It's pretty easy to sharpen that grade of steel also. MagnaCut, I think I have two knives that are MagnaCut, and I haven't had the fun of actually trying to sharpen it yet, but I'm assuming that it's not going to be too much fun. Now, if you look at the two knives in front of you, like I said, the green Civivi Altus was about $65. I believe the blue one was about $70, and I think the Cubit was about $65. So let's add that for a second. Let's say 65, 65, and 70. That brings us to $200. Just pretend the Cubit's here. Pretend it's like right over here someplace. That's $200 for three high-quality knives. Malibu, just have that one knife. You know, I think sometimes we lose track of the fact that you really want something that's going to be durable, function well, and fit your hand well. And like I said, the Malibu does all those things, but I gotta tell you, I kind of have trouble. I kind of have trouble justifying the price. Now, they do have some pluses and minuses. One big plus for the ProTech is that it's an American company, and I really like that. And from everything I've seen about the ProTech owner, I believe his name's Dave Wattenberg, and the employees there, seems like a great bunch of people. So I do like the fact that when I buy their products, it's supporting an American company and American jobs. But that not only am I getting that good product, but I'm also getting the quality that I expect for the price. So it is quite good in that regard. But I got to tell you, I haven't been buying any high dollar knives lately. I haven't been buying that, and even with the Spydercos, their new military, I really want that, and I just can't justify doing it. And this is someone who has a couple of Spydercos, U.S.-made Spydercos that I enjoy, and I don't know, I'm just kind of not really loving the high-end knife prices lately. Plus, it seems like they're getting kind of like crazier too. I don't know if it's just me or not. But if you want a ProTech Malibu, just because you really love ProTech, I think you should buy yourself one. It's a great knife. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you like button lock knives and you don't really care which brand you have, but you just want something that functions flawlessly, is solid, and is there when you need it, I got to tell you, I think I'd really consider the Altus. Because unless you're a ProTech collector, I don't really see the point. You know, now ProTech makes some really great knives with some awesome materials. As you can tell in front of you, the Malibu that I have there is just kind of the plain Jane version. Like I said, it was about $230. I mean, I've seen some Malibus that have special machining on the handle. They have their hand ground blades, Damascus blades, black lip pearl inlays, abalone inlays, 18 karat gold inlays, hand engraved, beautiful, beautiful knives. But a lot of times they'll also go, anywhere from like $1,000 to $10,000 a piece. So that's definitely not in my budget, to be honest with you. So this is kind of a plain Jane knife, which is fine because I don't need any of the other stuff. But if you're going to get something that's kind of plain Jane, I got to tell you, the Altus is really the way to go. So just a little bit of chatting with you kind of about the knives and kind of the need to spend all that money on something because you're not really getting, I don't want to say you're not getting your money's worth, but just consider that what you're paying for can very, very easily be satisfied by something that's like a third the price. All right, I'll talk to you later, guys.